take this time to just go deeper into that space within. We take a breath or as many breaths as we need to just bring ourselves to a calm, more peaceful, more centered state of being. We're not trying to force any breathing patterns. We're not trying to make ourselves relax. We're just releasing and becoming more still. We allow our attention to go to the breath more than the thoughts. Though the thoughts may come, we just allow them to keep going if they do. We don't attach, we just observe. We don't try to make them go away because our brain ideates, it's what it does. It's okay if the thoughts come. Some may have messages during this more relaxed time that we wouldn't otherwise hear. So we just watch them go by and take note and settle into that space of our heart. Our word today being connection. Our power this month being imagination. We take this moment as we go deeper to imagine. What if we could let go all those divisions that we sometimes insist on building between us and others? What if we could simply open our hearts, open our minds, open our arms, and embrace the amazing diversity that this planet brings us? We just take a moment in this time of going deeper to just visualize the amazing variety of living things that show up on this planet. From humans to amazing animals, to soft fur and hard shells, to grass that breathes, to air that moves, to water that flows. All of these amazing variety of things that show up as the life and the expression of God on our planet. What an amazing gift. What an amazing opportunity to be a part of this oneness that shows up in so many different ways. We are grateful to be alive in this time, in this space, to bring our individual light to the collective glow of love that this world embraces. We move into that heart space now, and we connect with what feels love inside of us. We connect with that feeling, that emotion, that force of nature that is love. And we just kind of let it move outward from our heart. First, loving this body that brings us through this life with all of its beauties and all of its thorns. Then we allow that love to move outward into this room, continuing that feeling of love that everyone always comments on when they walk in here for the first time. Absolute love and light and acceptance in all our varieties. Then we allow that love to move outward, knowing that this world we are in and on needs it so much today. And we just blast that love out. Blast it around the world. Blast it outward so that our world is bathed in it. And we do that for a moment in the silence. And then with another breath, we just allow that love to land wherever it's reached. Keeping some for ourselves. Allowing that flow to continue even while we come back with purpose to this time, this space, this place. And open to the rest of our time together. Knowing we are in a sacred, safe space to explore and grow. And so it is. Amen. So we're called to be. We're called to be an awful lot of things in this world, I think sometimes it feels like. And we're called to move through things that are difficult. We're called to accept things that we may not like. We're called to stretch into new and different places and be things we didn't know we could be. We are called to show up in church on a Sunday morning to red, white, and blue and maybe feel some kind of way about that fact. I don't know. I heard from some people this past week, are we decorating in red, white, and blue? Because you know there's a separation of church and state. Right? I mean, come on, cop to it, especially if you feel it. And this month we're talking about the power of imagination. Can you imagine, can you think about the amount of imagination it took to live under the yoke of a king across the ocean and decide that you're going to create a free republic in a new country and that you are called to be something different than you thought you were going to be. This is the 250th anniversary of that Declaration of Independence. And yeah, there's a separation of church and state. And my goodness sakes, we can celebrate it for a week, can't we? Maybe a Sunday or two, keep the decorations up, and then we'll move into more summery decorations. And it's the celebration of people coming together to declare something that had never been, something that they saw further that could be. We've done great jobs of it through the 250 years, and we've done lousy jobs of it through the 250 years. We're humans, and we are divine. We are our divine souls encapsulating in these little human bodies for, I don't know, anywhere from a few minutes to 100 and something years, and we get to experience it individually this way, and we get to play in the field of unlimited possibility for the time that we are here. Some of us love to play. Some of us would just rather not. Both belong. Both are honored. Both are a divine call to be something beyond what we look in the mirror and see every day that we see. We're called, we get a call to, let's go to this place and see what these people are about. This Unity of Sebring Life Enrichment Center. Is it a church? Is it not? What is this thing and what are we doing? I've had some people say to me after a church service, well, it felt kind of like church, but I've never heard a message like that in church, so I don't know what this is. Do we have to quantify it? Do we have to box it into a specific thing? Can we not call ourselves higher to walk into any room, whether it's this one or Publix or a doctor's office or the DMV while we're standing in line? I'm telling you, I've heard people here, okay, I'm going to digress. I have heard people here to say to me, oh my gosh, I have to go get my license renewed or my tag renewed or whatever it is, and I got to go down there and sit. I came from West Palm Beach. You sat for 4.5 hours. I come in here, there's 4 people in the waiting room. And I'm like, people are complaining about this? I'm like going, woohoo, I have a day. I have a whole rest of my day after I've done this thing. What are we seeing through these eyes that we're seeing with? What are we calling everything that's happening in our lives? Because I choose to step firmly into the space of, oh my goodness, God, the beingness, the allness of being, the force that animates the universe, saw fit to shove itself into this little bodysuit and put a personality on it and to look at life through my eyes for a while. To do things in this world through my hands and my capabilities, and to have me show up as God in skin and be the hands and feet and activity of the divine source in this world. How cool is that? Why would we waste a minute of that? And some of the things, and I know I hear it from friends of mine, they're like, if you say fascinating one more time. I was talking to someone recently about my recent breakup, which I don't know, is it a breakup? Is it a get back together? It was a break. We're talking every day and trying to figure out what it means and what it's going to be and where it goes from here. And we talk on the phone, we text. He shoots me pictures of what he's doing. I shoot him pictures of my lunch. We're having a great time. I don't know what we're doing. Will we come back together? I have no earthly idea. But as I said to a friend of mine, we had this most bizarre breakup that I wish was on film because our relationship was falling apart while we were cooperating at beyond human levels to solve what seemed like an unsolvable problem in front of us. And it was fascinating, doggone it. It really was. See, that's the thing. What is our relationship to the discomforts in this world? Nobody goes, oh, yay, I'm sick, or oh, I lost my job, or oh, my marriage is over, or oh, whatever it is. Nobody, your first reaction is not, oh, yay. And if it is, I have a psychologist I can recommend to you. And we live in the world of duality, of understanding and unity, that we are divine beings having an earthly experience. So everything is both and. Oh my gosh, this relationship has fallen apart. Ooh, where does it go from here? What happens? How can I learn and grow from this? And that part, doggone it, is fascinating. And I love it. I love every one of those twists and turns. Maybe I'm weird, but let's be weird together and let's step into that energy where we say something in life has broken. Let's see what we can create out of the pieces. Or that kintsugi, the art of painting broken pottery back together with gold. Not only does it not erase the fact that there was a break, it highlights it. It paints it with precious metals and says, look at this. There was this immense break in this beautiful piece of pottery, and look at how gorgeous it can be now. It can shine even more. We choose that. So on July 2nd, it's the midway point of the year, halfway through. Now, I don't know if any of you still even know where this little thing is, but how many of you did the White Stone service with us this year? Okay, I know we're in summer. There's less of us in the room, but we're out. You're there. You might be there. I keep my white stone on my desk at a distance from me so that while I'm working, I catch glimpses of it as I'm working and moving through my day. And my white stone word this year was attend. And when I got it, I thought, attend. Okay, so I will attend to things this year. That doesn't sound too difficult. Yeah, it's become a master's level course on staying connected to things and following through and keeping going when I'm not sure where the next step is. So I don't know about you, but if you haven't looked at your white stone word in a while, I invite you to go back home and find it and get it and pull it out and look at what that January 1st or first Sunday of January thought and alignment was for you. Because every single year, I have them lined up in my windowsill, I have them on my desk, I have white stones. I've been doing white stones for probably about 20 years now, and they're so powerful. Every year I look back and I see, I finally started to put the years on them so that I would remember what year it was. But it's such a powerful thing to intend from the beginning of the year that your whole focus, that no matter what is happening, there's going to be an overall focus for the year. If you didn't do this with us, and if you look at your white stone word and go, not really feeling it right now, it's not doing anything for me, I invite you on July 2nd, at the midway point of the year, or even on the 4th of July, when everybody's celebrating, step into that energy of celebration and claiming independence, and then take time to create. Just go into the quiet for a minute and think, okay, what is the rest of this year about for me? What am I called to? Some of us have made big moves. Some of us have had massive losses. Some of us have had brand new, wonderful things step up in our lives. And some of us are continuing the exploration and the growth and the peeling back of the layers of the lotus. No mud, no lotus, right? I must have a lot of mud because I get a lot of lotuses in my life. So let's start again. We're halfway through the year. Our power of the month is imagination. What do you imagine you would love to do with the second half of this year? What is it calling you to? What are you moved to explore or to see or to call into being? I wanted to share, we're moving through this year in Unity's 12 Powers, this month being Imagination. Last week, by the way, that these will be on the stage. If there's something you feel called to imagine forward for Unity of Sebring, or something we could move into or be, or something you want to spearhead, or something that you feel called to bring here, put it on a heart, put it in the basket. We're actually gonna show them and see what we're all envisioning for our Unity of Sebring after the end of this month. So it'll be out here this Sunday, and then it goes away, and we're gonna pull out some of those things. But what were we imagining? Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." Right? And that's a big key to our lives. I don't know about you, but there are periods in my life where I go through and I'm like, I'm kind of meh. And I've been meh for a few days. And life is good, and it's not that I'm not grateful, but, I'm just kind of coasting. There are times that I coast. And when I get to those points, sometimes it's like, well, what could happen that would bring me joy? Spoiler alert, joy comes from the inside out, not the outside in. Now, there are things on the outside, don't get me wrong, that can bring us joy, and that can need to happen sometimes. If you've gotten to a space where you're waking up and going to sleep, and in between the waking up and the going to sleep, there's not a lot of variety of feeling or movement in your day, maybe you're being called to examine a few things in your life and see what might be able to grow and happen and change. And it's good to do that. I've got some practices before I get done that I'm going to share with you. Linda shared in here, our imagination, part of our imagination is vision. And she said in 1984, the first cell phones sold were limited in scope, that no more than 23 conversations could be carried on at any time in the same service area. Can you imagine that today? I think back to remember party lines? You'd go to you had somebody you wanted to talk to, you go to pick up the phone, oop, there's somebody already on it, sorry, gotta wait. 23 cell phone conversations at one time. There could be 23 cell phone conversations in this room at one time. So it's amazing how far we've grown. And she said, nowadays, 94% of adults worldwide carry cell phones. She said in 2001, she visited a primitive fishing village, and Linda Martelowitz, she's been here, she's stood on our stage. She said she went to visit a primitive fishing village in Hong Kong, and she was really expecting that she was just going to unplug from all the busyness of life and everything. And she sees in this primitive fishing village that all of the people are carrying cell phones, most specifically the little kids. And she's thinking, oh, for heaven's sake. Well, it's a fishing village. The parents go out to fish while the kids are in school. When the kids are out of school, they call their parents and say, we're done, it's time to come in. And that doesn't end at the same time every day. So we can marry these things. See, the thing is, we can give this swirling technology that keeps growing exponentially, we can demonize it and we can make it bad. Or we can cooperate with it and find out ways that it enhances our lives. It's up to us. It's all up to us. Our imagination is what is creating our life. I had the good fortune this week to find out that there were some people here that were on my behalf really angry that my boyfriend didn't come to my ordination celebration. If you were among those, let me take that weight off your shoulders right now, because I told him I didn't want him to come. And then one person followed up this week with, yeah, but it would have been so romantic if he would have just surprised you and come anyway from Tennessee. And I said, it would have given me anxiety and I would have not been happy. Because here's what my imagination has done. That path to ordination in my life was such a specific thing for me. And I had hopes and dreams and wishes and expectations. And at the culmination of that path, see, I took most of that path with my late husband. He was a huge part of me even thinking I could ever stand on a stage like this as a reverend. And I selfishly wanted to finish that path with him. There was no room in this place on that day for me, for any other man but my husband. Right? So what are we imagining? Because our life is the creation of our imagination. If we are being mad on behalf of someone else that didn't even ask you to be mad on their behalf, and may very well have an explanation that might even bring a tear to your eye, let's use our imagination as a creative force that brings life to everything in our life, right? That enlivens and invigorates everything we do. Washing dishes can be a sacred, holy experience. If you are standing there grateful for the food that you ate off of these dishes, grateful for the fact that you have hot water, grateful for the fact that you have this ability and muscle memory in your arms to wash the dishes, we can make everything a spiritual and growing and learning and evolving experience with our imagination if we choose to do it. Our choice becomes our voice in this world. Let me see, am I going to do this or not? In metaphysical understanding, creation occurs by the union of the head and the heart. I love that. So this week, when you're moving through your days, what can be when we hold a potent idea in mind, when we develop it by imagining it fleshed out in manifestation and feel the thrill of fulfillment while incubating that idea in our mind. We may not, in this moment, be in the happiest space we've ever been. You may feel some kind of way about red, white, and blue in this moment. You may feel some kind of way about the fact that it's Pride Month. And by the way, this afternoon at 5 p.m., down on the circle in front of Montcirque, there will be a Pride walk around the circle. I will be there, maybe some others of us will be there, and we will join there, and we will stand with our LGBTQIA brothers and sisters and people in unity to say we all belong. We're all creations of God. We were all made just as we were made, with purpose and intent. And we are here to express ourselves in all of our beauty. We have these opportunities. We have these opportunities to stand with others, to walk with others, to walk others through difficult spaces in their lives, and to, for God's sake, love louder. Let's love as loud as we can. And so it is.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.